Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Power Pack issue 27. This is a tie-in into the Mutant Massacre crossover. And I have to say the story is written by Louise Simonson. She does a fantastic job. There is some jarring shifts in tone within this particular issue, but it really works for the story because it makes it more unsettling. Where basically we have a group of very young kids jumping into a pretty heavy situation where we have this ethnic cleansing of mutants. This particular group called the Morlocks, they're being killed by the Marauders. Now I do have to say that I'm not too familiar with the members of the Power Pack, especially what powers each member has. The only one that I'm actually familiar with is Franklin Richards. I do have to mention that I've seen some of the members of the Power Pack pop up in different series over the years, and they have grown up. While poor Franklin Richards, even though he's not a little kid anymore, he's like an adolescent still. So the story starts off, we have Franklin Richards who has a sleepover with the members of the Power Pack. His powers activate when he goes to sleep, and what happens is his mind enters in sync with Leach's. Leach is one of the members of the Morlocks, and he's just screaming for help. He has Caliban who's dying in his arms. He was really messed up by Sabretooth. I must note that Caliban does survive this story and later on becomes a horseman of apocalypse. So the kids from the Power Pack see this mental manifestation that's being produced by Franklin Richards of poor Leach. They know who he is. Obviously, this is the only Power Pack issue that I have in my whole collection, so I guess they had to run in with the Morlocks prior to this. So what happens is they decide to go into the sewers. They're going to help and rescue their friend. And they jump right in the middle of this terrible massacre. There's dead bodies all over the place. This story gets very, very dark. Like, there's a moment where there's a Morlock that's able to control these crocodiles that were living in the sewers, and he gets killed. So now the crocs start eating the corpses of the dead in the sewers. So what happens is Power Pack enter into battle against the members of the Marauders. The first one they actually encounter is Sabretooth. He's a real handful for these kids, and they're able to immobilize him, and they get out of there as quick as possible. They end up crossing paths with Wolverine, who they're also familiar with. It seems that these kids really got around back then in the Marvel Universe. The thing is that Wolverine tells these kids, get the hell out of here. Also, one really interesting thing here is that it's shown that Wolverine is familiar with Sabretooth. He knows him by name. Chronologically, within the context of this crossover, we're going to get the X-Men issue where we have the first confrontation between Wolverine and Sabretooth. I must note that this is the first confrontation on a publication level. Way further down the line, Chris Claremont is going to set up that Wolverine and Sabretooth have been trying to kill each other for many, many, many years. But the cool thing is that this Power Pack issue sort of sets up this epic battle that we're going to get. Now, while going through these different corridors within the Morlock tunnels, they actually come across Leach's mother or adoptive mother. She was murdered by Scalp Hunter, and she's surrounded by a bunch of dead kids. It's a very gruesome panel. They know who she is, and what happens later on in the story, which is very heartbreaking, is that once they're able to rescue Leach, they tell him, look, we saw your mom, she's dead. Saying that very tragic phrase, it made me remember that classic Suicidal Tendency song, I saw your mama and your mama is dead. A pretty dark song from a fantastic band, but let's get back to the comic book. And it's so, so sad when they tell Leach this. He just breaks down and cries. It's such a heartbreaking moment. And the thing is that the Power Pack leaves Leach under the care of X Factor. And they get out of the sewers and the kids are like, wow, what an amazing adventure we were on. To go to sleep nice and warm with their parents, in contrast with poor Leach, who basically everyone he knows has been killed. It's a pretty terrible contrast, but the thing is, I'm going to leave this video here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.